All right, what is going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video. Today I want to talk about something that's pretty near and dear to my heart, which is cars. And I get this question a lot from my friends and family around like what my thoughts are on how to afford a car and how you should go about financing a vehicle, right? And this is in no way, shape, or form financial advice, but it is my opinion on how you can kind of think about financing something that's like a depreciating asset, right? And so for me, from my point of view, there are really two types of car buyers in this world. The first type of car buyer is the utilitarian. They see the car as just a way to go from A to B. They don't really care what it looks or feels like, and they really couldn't care about how others might see them on the road, right? It's just a utility, and that's perfectly okay. And then there's another type of car buyer, and that type of car buyer is very passionate about cars. They want to get a performance car, they want to modify it, maybe they want to get a convertible, right? These are the kind of people where the budgeting is a little bit less strict or formalized in terms of the information that you can find online. So let's kind of break that down into how we would finance it for both of these types. Regardless of whether you are a type 1 or a type 2 car buyer, I think the best way for you to do this is to pay for the car in cash. And yeah, that's very difficult to do, right? That would mean sacrificing for a number of years to save up a large amount of money to drop it on a car. Now, most of us don't have that kind of discipline or income to be able to do that. And so for most of us, a car loan makes a lot of sense, right? You still need a car to get around, but without a big, large sum of cash to just kind of throw around, you still need that utility. And so breaking that down, if you are going to get a car loan, for those type 1 buyers that see it as utility, the best thing you can do is follow the 24-10 rule. And that would mean 20% down on the car loan, no longer than 4 years on the repayment term, and no more than 10% of your monthly income allocated to the car expenses. Now, what do I mean by car expenses, right? So the car expenses would be paying for the car loan itself, the insurance for the car, the gas, and the maintenance. Now, those can be pretty hefty charges, right? Gas right now is pretty expensive. Maintenance would include anything from new tires, a new headlight, if you wanted to get new wipers, or just your oil changes, right? Basic car maintenance. And so if you do that with that formula, the 24-10 on an income of, let's say, $4,000, you're looking at around $400 to spend every month on those car expenses. And that's not a lot of money, right? That's not a lot to spend on a vehicle. And for anyone that's in that scenario, let's say you're making around $4,000 a month take home, you're probably only going to be spending 12, 15, maybe 17 grand on a car, because that's kind of where the math lines up. And that's not a lot, right? You're not going to get the top of the line. You're not going to get the performance cars, right? You're going to get something that's a utility. It's going to be a very basic sedan probably, and it's going to get you from A to B, but that's about it. And for most people, that's perfectly okay. And so if that is you and you are that type 1 car buyer, follow that rule, 24-10. And that'll set you up to be financially stable in other areas of your life, right? Where your passions actually are, so you can spend more money there. For the people that are passionate about cars, for the people that want a driving experience, they want to be able to feel the car, they want to be able to modify the car, they care about what it looks, feels, and sounds like, that's really where the rules kind of change a little bit. Personally, from what I think, from my point of view, you should be looking at spending around 20 to 25% of your take-home income on your car expenses while still following the 24 rule, right? So 20% down for maybe 5 years of a loan repayment term, and then bump that 10 up to 20 to 25% spent on those car expenses. And now if we take that previous example of making about $4,000 a month, that bumps you up to $800 on your car expenses, which I think for most people would probably tell me that I'm crazy, right, to spend that much money on a car every month. But if it's your passion, if it's something that excites you, that you get out of bed every morning and want to drive, I think that's a reasonable, expense. I think it's reasonable to say that your money is going to go where your passions are. And so for these people that are passionate about cars, that's where the money's going to end up going. And so, yeah, I mean, from my point of view, spending that kind of money on a car can get you to a spot where you are financially stable enough to spend money on other things, right? If you're spending $800 or that 20 to 25% on a car, you're probably not spending that kind of money on other things in your life, right? You're probably not going out to eat very often. You're probably not buying new clothes, new jewelry, new shoes all the time. And you probably don't have, the biggest house that you can afford, because the money is going towards where your passions are. And that's perfectly okay. Kind of to sum everything up here, what I believe is the most important thing is to be cognizant of where your money is going. If you're going to spend that 20 to 25% of your take-home income on a car, make sure you know where the other expenses are going, right? Make sure that you can afford your house, your utilities. Make sure you can afford food on the table. And then after all of that, if you still have that 20 to 25% that you can allocate towards a car, do it. Because these cars are so much fun, right? I get a lot of value out of them. This is advice from a person who has cars that is going to help you achieve that dream. And so hopefully you guys learned a little bit something here, and hopefully this advice rings true. If you think I'm crazy, or if you like the content, comment down below, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.